Hello, sixth graders. This is Mr. Shear, and you'll notice from your screen that today's topic is a long division review. And this is jumping back into work you should have done last year and maybe in fourth grade even. But this is in preparation for tomorrow's lesson, which will be long dividing decimals. But I've found that most kids always need a little brush up on long division at the start of the year. Your assignment today is just a worksheet. It's 8 questions and it's long division. And before we proceed, I just want to say one thing. I know that for many students, probably more than anything else in math, long division just seems to be the monster. It is this, for whatever reason, it is the thing that a lot of kids just really struggle with, to the point that they don't even want to try. And so I want to say a couple things about that. First, obviously with social distancing school, you could use a calculator and I'd never know, but that's not very good practice for you. So I really recommend that you just practice this. It's not something that's going to go away. Long division's here to stay, and I don't know, maybe think of it as like how you have to practice anything. You know, we spend a lot of time practicing sports, and for many of you guys, you're not good when you first start out at anything, and it just takes practice. Want to be a singer? You got to put in the work. Want to go to high school or college? You got to be able to do long division. So for those of you who struggle with it, just take it as a challenge. Do the practice today. I don't care if you even think of it as the boss at the end of a video game level. For many of us, long division is the thing that really stresses us out and trips us up. And I want to say, just do your best to power through. And I want to encourage you to practice today. So last thing I'll say before I jump in, today's Google Meet, a lot of times at the Meet, I try to have maybe a Kahoot or an interesting video or some example problems that we can do together, something different than this video. But today at the Meet, because I know some kids really struggle with long division, it's mostly going to be this video, which I'll show as a slideshow, and then we're just going to jump in and work on the assignment. So if you're somebody where long division's easy, which tends to be the case for about half the class, something you got down, you might not want to watch this whole video today if you're going to attend the Meet, or you might just want to watch this video and check in with the Meet and take off pretty quickly, because we're mostly just going to be practicing long division, because usually it's about a third to a half of the class really needs that help. All right, all that being said, before we start, I want to give some vocab. The number that is being divided is called the dividend. The number you are dividing by is called the divisor, and the answer to a division problem is called a quotient. So this is typically how it's written. The number that you're going to divide up, the dividend, goes in the box. The number you're dividing by goes out of the box, and the answer goes up on the line, and that's a quotient. Just some vocab. There are 2 ways that are common for people to remember the steps of long division. Probably the most common way is dad, mother, sister, brother, repeat. And that's divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and then you repeat the process. So in this step, they divided, they multiplied 2 times 3 and got 6, they subtracted and got 2, and they brought down the 9. Then they repeated that process, and they divided 3 into 29, 9 times. Then they multiplied, 3 times 9 is 27, subtracted, got 2, brought down the 4. Did it one last time, 24 divided by 3 is 8, 3 times 8 is 24, subtracted 0, nothing left to bring down. Another way to remember it, for those who really struggle to remember the step, dead monkey smells bad, really. And that's another way to remember the steps. And remember, the D stands for divide, the M stands for multiply, the S stands for subtract, the B stands for bring down, and the R stands for repeat. But I just find that for some students with more of a morbid sense of humor, maybe dad, mother, sister, brother, repeat doesn't stay in their head, but dead monkey smells bad really might stick in your head. So for the remainder of this video, I'm actually going to show somebody else's video because he does a really nice job of demonstrating long division. Okay, now what he's showing you here is that there's 3 ways to write long division typically, or division problems typically. You can write it as a fraction. This is the most common way, where you have the dividend and the divisor, but you have the dividend in the box and the divisor on the outside. And then you can also write it the standard way that we often see, where it's written 1032 with the dividing symbol by 4. So we're just going to jump in, and he's going to solve this problem using the top right example. And the first thing you want to do is you want to see how many times 4 goes into this first number. Well, in this case, 4 is too big to go into 1. And so the question becomes, how many times can that 4 go into 10? You move one number over. Now for many of you, you should hopefully know that right out off the bat. 4 goes into 10 2 times. So now you've divided. Next step, multiply. 2 times 4. And 2 times 4 is 8. So he's just erasing the line there. Next step, subtract 10 minus 8 is 2. And remember, dead monkey smells bad. So on B, which is bring down, you bring down the next number, in this case, 3. After this, you repeat. So now you're going 4 into 23. You're dividing again. And you want to know how many times 4 goes into 23. And that's 5. So we divided. Next step is multiply. 4 times 5, 20. Again, that was just 4 times 5. The last number you put up times the divisor, the outside number. Now you subtract. 23 minus 20 is 3. And you bring down. In this case, the next number, which is 2. All right, now you finish it out. You're back to divide, because now you repeat. So you're back to divide. And 4 goes into 32. How many times? 8. Because 4 times 8, so now you multiply, is 32. You subtract 32 minus 32, which will give you 0. And you'll notice there's nothing left to bring down. There's no remainder. So you have just done a long division problem. There's no remainder. On all your questions today on your worksheet, there is no remainder. Again, for a lot of you guys, it's usually in a typical year, it's about around half the class, maybe just over half the class, where long division is, they got it. And for a lot of you guys, I know you got it. But then about half the class, typically, it's really been a struggling point. And I really want to encourage you guys again today at the Google Meet. We're mostly just going to work on the assignment, practicing long division with those who need it. And this is all in preparation for the next few days where we're going to be working on dividing long division with decimals. If you're one of those students where you know you need the help on long division, certainly attend the meet today. Have your materials, your worksheet, and some scratch paper ready. And just, if you're one of those people who just hates doing long division, I just challenge you. You're not going to get better at it by not doing it. So I challenge you to have the best attitude you can and come to the Google Meet and we'll practice. All right, 6th graders, as always, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you later today.